Welcome, everyone, to the inaugural edition of the Reece Report. I have been waiting a long time to do this, and it's been 2 years in the making, and we are now live, and I have the most amazing guests in the world with me. I have Skip, Mr. Simon Brodeur, and I have the King, Brian Hossein. They are my first guests because they were gracious enough to invite me on their show, and I will let them introduce themselves after I introduce myself. I am the Mouth of the North, Andrew Reece. I can be found on the Reece Report and on Twitter as the Mouth of the North. All my content will be going there. I will also be opening up a YouTube channel shortly after this video is done, and I'm gone through all the editing process. And I will be joining my friends on your screen in this great thing we call podcasting. So I will shoot it over to Brian and Skip, and they can introduce themselves.
Wait, hold on. I saw your intro and I thought we were on Miami Vice. do I really need to? Okay.
All right. Where's your CSI Miami clip right there?
I gotta put it back
on.
Oh,
you already look like you're from the FBI as it is. So.
Well, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, whatever time it is for you right now. Just know that you are locked in onto the Reece Report with the one and only Andrew Reece. Myself, I'm at King Hussein on all social media platforms. You guys know where to find Simon Brodeur right now, simonbrodeur.com, at Dougie J's on Amazon.ca. Go buy that book. You guys know where to find us on To The Point, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And can I just say this, guys? I am elated. I am delighted. I know Skip feels the same way as myself, that we are very honored to be on the first ever Reece Report broadcast. And dude, I've known you for so long. I'm so proud of you. This is epic. And you have been a great friend of our show. And now we can be great friends of your show. And you pulled us out of hibernation, so what's up?
Okay, guys. Skip, where can they find you?
Brian already covered most of it, so I don't need to go too deep. But I'm on Dougie J's on Twitter. That's the main place you can get me, and obviously the To The Point podcast on YouTube.
Okay, guys, we welcome any feedback after the show's done. Please, good, bad, positive, negative. I don't care. Share your thoughts and let us know what you think. It's very important to the show.
Let's get at each other.
It's going to be very important to me. Now, the topic for today is a juicy one. At least in my opinion, it is. It's the G.R.O.A.T, otherwise known as the greatest Raptor of all time. Now, here are my thoughts on this. Then I'm going to shoot it to you. I do believe it's Kyle Lowry, but would we be saying this if Kawhi Leonard did not become a Raptor 2 years ago? And the reason I say that is, before Kawhi Leonard came along, the Raptors were a team that was known as playoff chokers. Guys that did not perform in the playoffs or when it meant something most for 5 years. It's the reason why Dwayne Casey was fired, and it's the reason why the Kawhi Leonard trade happened. So would we be saying that Kyle Lowry is the greatest Raptor of all time if the Kawhi Leonard trade never happened? Skip, what do you think?
Hold on, Skip. I really want to hear what you got to say. So please go.
Okay, I think the bottom line is that yes, we would. Obviously, it'd be less of a slam dunk at that point if.
Well, DeMar would be in the conversation.
If Lowry didn't have a championship, it'd be less like you'd have DeMar, you'd have some other people in the conversation.
Yeah.
But I think the bottom line is Lowry's just been so good for so long. He's been on the team all this time. He's never made any moves to leave the team, which is really important in this conversation. And really, at this point, he holds all the records other than scoring. I mean, DeMar has scored more than him, but that's not really what I'm looking for in the greatest Raptor of all time. You look at his overall. I looked up at his win shares, and Lowry first all time in win shares, 73.4. The second is Chris Bosh. So I actually think the better question is who's the second best Raptor of all time,
Right.
because I think it's Lowry by a landslide. But
Mm-hmm.
you look, he's got 12 win shares on Bosch, and then everyone else is pretty far behind those two. He's got he leads the team in value over replacement player over the course of his career. So I think definitely it's Lowry any way you slice it. The only argument against it is either you could go with the sheer pure overall scoring that you get with DeMar, even though there's a lot of downsides to that. Or you could look at a guy like Kawhi, who came in for the one season and was really good for one season. But I don't think that merits being in the conversation.
Yeah, my thoughts on this are Kyle Lowry's probably the greatest Raptor. I don't think there's any debating that. But the most important Raptor of all time is Kawhi Leonard. And that's the way I like to present it when someone asks me. Now,
because he brought the chip, right?
He brought a lot more than the chip. I believe that one of the reasons why the Raptors won the title is that friendship between Kyle and DeMar was broken and made him become more of a business-like, serious, concentrate on the game every night kind of player. And the reason I say that is, if you look at them in the playoffs when they were losing, they were joking around in press conferences after, and they were, you know, they didn't ever really believe they could win and beat LeBron James, you know, who was the guy who knocked us out, and Washington swept us one time, that sort of thing. So I think that Kawhi brought something that they didn't have. Yeah. Kawhi brought something they didn't have before, which was a belief that they could win.
Yeah, defense is what he brought.
Yes.
I don't think it's really got anything to do with belief and mumbo jumbo and all that crap. Yeah. I think basically Kawhi, man, it helped them reorganize their team as a defensive powerhouse. Yeah. And all those years before that, they had no way to stop DeMar. They had no scheme to stop.
LeBron. Yes. Yes.
They had no scheme to stop LeBron. They had no player personnel to stop LeBron. And then you see Kawhi emerge, or you see Kawhi come in here. You see Pascal emerge, and they were just way better equipped. And obviously, they didn't have to play LeBron, which was a big factor.
Yes. Yeah.
But just it wasn't. I don't think you can say that Kawhi. Certainly, he brought a swagger that helped them get through that Bucks series. I thought specifically, even more than the Sixers series, I thought Kawhi's swagger really helped out in the Bucks series when he said, "We're going back to Toronto," when everyone was like, "We're down 2-0, it's over." But I think on the whole, there were a lot of things that he did to help the team, but you can't look at 1 year and you can't look at David Price and say he's the best Blue Jay of all time. You can't look at it like that. You have to look at the overall body of work.
I did love him, but go on.
Yeah.
You just have to look at the overall body of work. And I think Lowry's put the time in, he's put the numbers up, and he's deserving of the honor.
Brian, I know for a fact, because I've known you for a long time, me and you, even though you're not a Raptors fan, I know you're not a Raptors fan, but I know you followed them. And you have been a stark supporter of Vince Carter in this category for a long time. So let me hear from you on the GROAT. I will never name Vince Carter the GROAT because of the way he left the team. And thank God Kyle Lowry came along and we can name someone else the GROAT. But go ahead, let me hear what you have to say about this.
Well, that's exactly where I wanted to go to. Personally, my favorite player of all time is Vince Carter. He's not really number one on any of the Raptors categories of what they can do, except for like maybe usage percentage. He's up there. The box plus minus, he's up there.
He's up there in the rate stats. He's not up there in the overall stats because he
highlight reels.
Have the body
he's
of
in
work.
The highlight reels. You know, like when you think of Raptor highlights, he's there.
Yeah, but also he brought the recognition to our city, Toronto, Ontario, T.O. Point. You guys know what we're talking about. It's on there on the Chronic, on the Dr. Dre's album, where they say, "I'll bang you like Vince Carter from the baseline." There were multiple rappers on their music videos where they're wearing the Carter jersey. You know, his cousin T-Mac. You know, remember? It's over.
I remember
during the slam dunk competition. Yep. Yeah, and that was amazing. So to me, he's my favorite. But I have to concede, and I don't know if you want to put up that graphic, but you guys can look at the numbers. And to me, Kyle Lowry, hands down, undoubtedly. Can I do my usual throw my pen? Yes. The greatest Raptor of all time. The G.R.O.A.T. That's what Kyle Lowry is. You guys got to understand that. What, Skip? I've been watching the Raptors longer than you have. So this is what I'm saying.
Okay, so back to the Vince thing. I think the thing about Vince is that you were talking about Kawhi's swagger. I think Vince brought swagger to the Raptors in a different way.
Hell yeah,
he brought swagger to the organization. He put them on the map, as everybody says. He always has the dunk contest, and him and T-Mac and all that. But basically, that's the thing where you can sort of go and say who's the second best Raptor of all time, because I think Lowry has run away with that G.R.O.A.T title. Mm-hmm. But then you start looking at the numbers and you say, was it Vince or was it Bosh? Was it because Bosh way up there,
or was it DeMar?
Or was it DeMar? And, and the thing is, DeMar actually lags in a lot of these categories for various reasons, because not enough defense is the main one, but just being a pure scorer as opposed to more of a 5-tool player, as some of these other guys were.
Most games, most minutes played, most field goals, like, come on.
Greatest is more than just stats, though. I would agree with Skip on that.
It's not just about the stats.
I agree. I think we could all agree that Kyle has the most heart, and that's why he deserves to be called the greatest Raptor of all time.
Yeah.
Skip.
DeMar was he was a scorer. That's the thing. Yes. He was a scorer.
Yeah.
But there's more, like, there are stats for everything. Like, there's rebounding. There's lots of other types of stats.
Yeah.
And the bottom line is DeMar, I don't think he rates in a lot of these stats. I think he's well down the list. I was going down the win share list, and I got Lowry at 73. I got Bosh at 61. I got DeMar at 54. And then we got Vince way down there at 47, because obviously not enough games.
Yeah.
But then you know who I got at number 5?
Mm-hmm.
Any guesses? The fifth best Raptor by win shares.
Wow, that's a great question. Wow, I'm not sure.
Wait.
Antonio Davis.
No cheating.
Antonio Davis.
JV!
Oh,
wow, is it JV? Wow.
Jonas Valanciunas!
You got to think body of work, right? You got to think who was here for the longest.
Wow, I never would have guessed JV. How about that? Yeah. Wow.
So it's interesting.
And you know what's actually scary? Right behind him is Jose Calderon.
Well, Jose doesn't surprise me as much as JV, actually.
Yeah, Jose's up there.
Yeah.
So I think the reality is there are 4 all-time Raptors, and they're Lowry, Bosh, DeMar, and Vince. They're the ones that show up in basically every list. And you got to go Lowry number 1, and then you got to go. The other 3 can go in any order. And obviously, I think Vince lags a bit in the stats, but I think when you look at where he was in his career when he was here, what he was doing when he was here, the circumstances under which he left, I think he blows past Bosh, where obviously there's a lot of sourness to how Bosh left as well, and just did not endear himself to Raptors fans at all.
No, that's a whole other topic that maybe we'll touch on one day. But guess what, guys?
Yeah,
I think that we have answered the question of the G.R.O.A.T. And I would really, really like to thank Brian and Skip for answering those questions. And that is it for our show today, boys. However, the King and Skip will be back. And we are going to touch on a number of topics.
Definitely.
Whether it be the Raptors, whether it be the past Raptors, the future Raptors. Why Kyle Lowry wasn't traded. I think I know why, because the States doesn't value him as much as we do. But we'll get into that, and we'll talk more.
We don't have to talk about the G.R.O.A.T. We can talk about the GOAT.
Yeah, we can talk about the GOAT even. There's so much we can talk about, and that's why I have brought this show to you, because I want to hit topics one at a time, short period of time, and just attack it and see what you guys think of what we think. So I'm hoping to have this video up later, boys, and then we can start our show and continue on and see where it goes. But I really thank you guys for coming on. And I would like Brian to sign us off in the best way he knows how.
Andrew, I got to tell you, I am so excited for you and where you're going to go. On behalf of myself and Skip, I really appreciate and I really thank you that you have pulled us out of hibernation to talk about this. And we wish nothing but the best for you. Okay? You guys know where to find them. Andrew Reece on the Reece Report. You guys know where to find us on To The Point. More importantly, what we got to say is what you guys got to say. Get at Andrew. Go at him. I love it when people get at him. Get at Skip on Dougie J's. I love it when people get at him. Get at us on Facebook. I love it when people get at us. Most importantly, guys, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, and
Peace.
Good night, guys. See you again.